Hello and welcome everybody. Today I have a wonderful special guest for us today. We're welcoming Sam of Black Women Build Wealth, and she's going to share with her ideas of Black women building wealth and their relationship to our overall well-being and quality of life. And if you're new here, welcome. I am Danny, and welcome to the channel, Natural Ally D, where again I talk about things related to enhancing our overall quality of life and well-being. So, welcome, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Danny. Super excited to be here.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for coming. So, before we start, I'm going to give you a little intro and we'll get right into it. So, Sam is a financial coach and educator who lives in Ottawa, Canada. Her YouTube channel, Black Women Build Wealth, combines two of her passions, personal finances and black women. Through her channel and coaching, she helps Black women achieve financial confidence by being intentional, stepping into their power, taking charge of their finances, creating options for themselves, and living a life of by design. And who doesn't love that? Her other passions are travel, food, and dance. Awesome. So we're going to get right started. Your channel, Black Women Build Wealth.
Mhm.
Tell us what inspired you to start the channel and why this topic.
Yeah, definitely. I've been living in Canada for 20 years now, a little bit over 20 years. I'm originally from Benin, West Africa. And I believe, when I was younger, just growing up back home and just seeing, how the society was, because it's the patriarchy is really strong back home. The man in the family is usually the one, most of the time, making the money and making decision about anything of the family, like, and also the same as a woman when you get married, then you move into your new husband house and you get to live there, but sometimes things go sour, and I've heard or seen so many women and their kids being homeless overnight just because the husband decided to divorce or anything like that. So from a young age, just being exposed to that as a young girl, I already knew how important it was for me to actually have my own money and my own assets, just to protect myself and my family, even when something like that was to happen to me. And so I carried that with me coming to Canada. But there are a lot of things that definitely I didn't know much. But as I was, going through school and then going through work and just making connections and being really exposed to people who are actively building wealth and wanting to create financial independence for themselves, I really realized how important it is for anyone really to actually build wealth. But I also noticed how really, I guess, like Black women are absent in those circles where people are talking about building wealth. And I'll find myself most of the time in those network events being maybe one of the two or three Black women being there. And to me, I'm like, we actually need to be there because it's so important for our future and, for generational wealth to learn from people who are doing it how we can actually do it. So that was really the reason behind me launching my YouTube channel. And I'm very excited about it because I get to talk about something that I love to people that I actually really want to help, because I've seen the difference in my own life, being very mindful of my personal finances. And I definitely want to help more Black women get to that level as well.
Awesome. And we are grateful that you have started that channel, okay? For sure. Speaking for myself, for sure. Okay. So, could you share with your insights about money, wealth, attainment for Black women? Perhaps, what inspired that particular topic? So, in other words, you share your insights about money, wealth, and attainment for Black women.
Hmm. Yeah, so I mean, the thing is, like, we do have some statistics that are quite scary, and I've shared some of them on some of my videos on my channel. And most of those numbers really are coming from the United States. I live in Canada, but I don't think it's that different in Canada, to be honest. But when you read that a single Black woman net worth is around 2,000 US dollars compared to a single Black woman, which is around 80,000, or that a married Black woman net worth is around 8,000 US dollars, and compared to a married Black woman, which is around like 190,000 US dollars. So I mean, you can't just help it but pause and be like, why is there such a gap? And really, there's not much you can do having $2,000 net worth. It's barely like an emergency fund. And that's just saying that essentially you're exposed to so many risks that can happen, whether it is like health related or like even your car breaking down and you need to fix your car. And then it just says how important it is really for people to actually focus on that, and mainly for Black women to focus on that. And another thing is also that right now, like 80% of Black mothers are sole breadwinners. So then not only carrying their own weight, but also carrying the weight of the family. And so when you think about building wealth, it's not only for even like the Black women per se, it's definitely for them first, but it's also for their family, like being able to actually pass it on to the kids and really build generational wealth. So to me, it's really important. And when you keep in mind that Black women are the most educated in the United States, you you have to ponder how come they're not accumulating wealth at the same pace, if not faster than other race. And it just says that there is like a lot of either misconception or like lack of knowledge, education, but there is definitely something to be done in this category so we can close that gap and definitely build wealth faster.
Right. So
Mhm.
closing that gap between black women and the disparity between
Yeah,
women and non-blacks women.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for those statistics. That is pretty alarming,
Mhm.
given that the level of education, that we have, you know.
Yeah,
It seems to
definitely.
seems to wonder, it's like, why is that? Okay. So next, I'm wondering, why is it important for Black women to think about this topic? You touched on it a little bit
Hmm.
because of the disparity. What what else do you think? Perhaps why is it also,
Hmm.
despite the disparities, what else would be of benefit for Black women to grasp onto this for it to be important for them?
So, I mean, to me, when I think about wealth, it's part of our whole well-being.
Okay.
And your channel talks a lot about well-being, and to me, wealth is a part of your well-being. At the end of the day, everybody needs money, uses money, earns money. Like money is part of our life, and money causes a lot of stress. When you read some articles on what stressed people the most, money is usually in the top three. And so that just says that, it's really important for anyone out there to have a good grasp of their personal finances, because that will help them to, sleep better at night and
Mm-hmm.
really have an overall, like a positive, well-being that will contribute positively to their well-being. So definitely on my channel, I talk a lot about money, 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 but definitely the overall picture. And even more importantly, for Black women, it's really because that also contributes to our overall well being. And I do believe that as Black women, wealth and well being are two things that somehow we don't we don't give enough attention to, and those two things are really important because uh, again, one probably will give you the peace of mind, and the other one is going to be giving you that just ability to be able to be like less stressed and more focused, more positive, being able to focus on things that you really want to accomplish. So it's when you look at it, it's really part of that overall well-being that is so important for Black women to actually start focusing on and making a priority in their lives.
Right, excellent. That was a great lead in to the next question, which you touched on a little bit already. We know money is a tool, right? We
Yeah.
need money to function in this world. If you live in an area, unless you live in an area where you barter all the time, you need money wherever you
Yeah.
are to conduct business and take care of yourself. So we know
Hmm.
money is a tool. What opportunities for overall well-being do you feel are important as it relates to access, being knowledgeable, or thriving to manage our money effectively?
So to me, when I think about it, it's really so like when you were introducing me, that part of taking control is really important, and even stepping into your power. Queen Beyonce said something that I really like. She's like, "Power is not given to you; you have to take it." And I think as Black women, especially when it comes to our money or personal finances, or even asking to be paid, what we should be paying for our worth, it's not something that is really talked about usually in family. So it's either something you don't know, and you think that just working hard, someone will notice and give you that promotion, and that could be the reason why we are the most educated, because we think that the more degrees we're going to have, then people will be paying us more money. And that's not translating really when you look at it. So it just says that no, there is much more to do. And definitely taking control of our money and being really, stepping into our power when it comes to our personal finances, it's important. And when I say stepping into our power, to me, I'm looking at it just being not being like a stranger to our own personal finances. So understand how things work, understand the logic behind things, reading, learning from those who have done it before us, and just like making sure that we put ourselves in circles where people are doing the same thing that we want to do. At the end of the day, I have amazing friends, Black women, but most of the time, personal finances is not really the topic that they want to talk about, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's not really. So we may talk about it a little bit, but nobody wants to spend time on it. So I have to, find another other circle really to actually talk about that and learn from it. Not to say that's the only thing that we have to talk about, but when you see how important it is, and unfortunately today, money literally drives the world. So many things that we see, and you're just like, yeah, that's just because that person has the money. So we don't want to be left out in that, um, in that whole process. We want to also be part of that. And honestly, being like we actually in the driver's seat and not the passenger when it comes to our money.
Right, absolutely. You don't want to you want to be the seat at the table when it comes to having those sort of access to decisions
Exactly.
and things like that. So I understand
Yeah.
completely,
Yeah.
completely. Okay. So I must pivot a little bit. You currently on your channel, and for everybody who's watching, we'll put an information link to her channel in the description. And I definitely encourage you to watch it. She gives wonderful gems and nuggets for us, and it's just a wealth of information. Is some things you may know, and some things may add to your knowledge. So definitely check her out. So speaking of your channel, you currently have a no spending challenge going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's a challenge that I'm doing, and I strongly encourage my viewers also to do it. I usually do it maybe 2, 3 times a year. It's a bit like a reset for me for my finances. I'm usually good with my finances, but I feel like even doing a no spend month usually help me. It really helps me in a way that sometimes I just don't realize. I just find some I guess like some stuff always about my personal finances. So the idea behind it is, and that calls on to the intentionality. When you were talking about my the reason for my platform is really that's what actually transpired into this no spend month is the ability to actually being more present when we are making purchases. Again, money is a tool, money is also emotional, and so many times we make purchases in the spur of the moment because they're like promotions to feel better,
Mm-hmm.
or like when we, when we feel happy, we buy, when we feel sad, we buy. So there is no barriers. Like, you can literally be spending money on everything and anything. But when you're really intentional with your money and you're really present when you're doing all of those purchases, that really helps you to align your expenses with your values, like things that really matters to you. And so we are like in the third week right now, and I'm giving weekly update on my channel. And so to me, it's like it's each time that I do it, it's almost like I'm rediscovering myself with my personal finances, and also that I'm actually working on myself for discipline and reminding myself why I'm doing this, because temptation is, it's all over the place. Not to say that, I'm having a perfect no spend month, but at least, I'm sharing that on my platform. I'm letting people know, okay, I had a sleep here. This is the reason, and really being transparent and honest. And so the goal to me when I'm done with the no spend month is to look back and be like, okay, compared to maybe a month where I wouldn't have done the no spend month, how did things go? And just come up with some maybe lessons learned that I can carry on, until the next month or so. So that's really the idea behind it. And again, it's a challenge. I like to challenge myself, at times, and especially for my personal finances, because I never know what is gonna come out from it.
Well, we appreciate your transparency. I'm doing the challenge as well, and no spending. It has been hard. I'm not going to lie. I have some things in my Amazon cart, but I'm waiting to the end of the month to see if I
Yeah,
really want them.
good.
You know, and I have been holding off on unnecessary spending. So I'm learning that self control.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It
Yeah.
feels good, and the money in my pocket feel good too. So yes.
Exactly, exactly. And the thing is, today I was talking with my accountability partner that I have for financial independence. We have like a monthly goal to keep each other accountable to reaching financial independence. And she's not doing the challenge, but she knows I'm doing it. But she's like, you know what? I got paid yesterday. I paid my bills and everything, and I have left $100 in my bank account. She's like, I'm going to be doing the last 2 weeks of the no spend month week. Because it's like, I don't know where the money went. How come I got paid yesterday and after paying my bills, I only have $100? I know it's not right. Something is not right. And she's like, I can't even tell you where the money went. So, it's really that idea behind it. And, even if she hasn't started, at the beginning of October, she's like, I'm going to be doing it for the next 2 weeks because I need to get this in check and understand what's going on. And that's really the idea behind it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Know the feeling. It's like, what did I?
Yeah, you're like, who took money from my account? How's that possible? Yeah,
Yes, and you definitely don't want to have more month than you have money. That's that
exactly.
is
You
not a
said
good
it.
feeling.
Exactly. You said it. You said it. Hmm.
All right. Let's see. Moving on. What do you see as the future for BWBW? Your hope for the channel?
Oh my God, I have like big dreams for that channel. I have big dreams for that channel. And to me, it's really so honestly, what I'm seeing for the channel is eventually even having like a summit, like a wealth summit for Black women, where we're going to be really focusing on those. Because when you say wealth, it's a big subject. There's so many things that goes into wealth, and sometimes people find it confusing. So we're going to be focusing on different aspects, the mindset, your values, paying down debt, understanding credit cards or loans, investing. So investing, that's another point that definitely women in general actually are not so much investing, but
Right.
definitely when you look at even Black women, it's even a smaller percentage. Like less than 30% of investors right now are women. So when you know that essentially building wealth comes with investing, we are leaving a lot of money on the table. So we are good savers, but we don't know how to invest. So for me, for like, Black women build wealth is eventually even having an investing club for Black women, where we're going to learn about that, and we're going to support each other. We're going to be keeping each other accountable to start with investing, keep at it, and build from there. And even more to that, right? Like, how do you build generational wealth? Do you have a will in place? Do you have insurance in place? All of those things that are really important that people don't think about. So the goal, I mean, not the goal, but like one of the dreams is really to have, first of all, a summit, have different clubs really focusing on different part of the wealth, building the wealth.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, also meeting amazing Black women, across from the world. I'm pretty sure mainly Canada and United States, but hopefully from other countries as well. And learning also from them, because who knows, there's so much that happens when like-minded people get together.
Amen. And we look forward to having that. Most
Yes,
definitely.
thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. So,
Mhm.
do you offer mentoring on money matters right now?
Yes. So currently I'm offering an hour coaching for anything that people might want to work on. So everybody's at different stage in their journey. Some people are focusing more on paying down debt. Some people are focusing more on making more money. Some people are focusing more on just get started with investing and things like that. So usually when I meet with people, we go over, I'll say, like, their personal finances in general. And the idea is just to identify, where they might be having some roadblocks. And so, of course, there's no magic that's going to happen in 1 hour. But depending on how they want to take it, it could be really me providing them with some suggestions on things that they can implement right away into their routine to help them, like improve the overall management of their finances. And for some other people, they need more, just like more assistance. A lot of time I realize that sometimes people come to me, they have the knowledge, but it's really in the implementation that people sometimes they don't know how to do it. Or like sometimes they do it, but then they do it for 2 months and then they don't do it again. And
Mm-hmm.
so for a lot of people, then there is like a 3 months plan, a 6 months plan, where I'm kind of like an accountability partner. But the one who comes in also with I guess more experience when it comes to personal finances. And people appreciate that because they know we have a monthly call and then we talk about different action steps that we want to be taking between those calls, and so they know that that needs to be done before we meet, and that really helped them to actually get it done. And for me, it's just magical to to really see people from where they start to actually throughout the coaching where we end. And it is the best the best reward really at the end of the day, just seeing that. And super grateful for just being in that position to be able to offer that support.
Wow. I'm sure it's a mutual blessing between the both of you, for sure. For sure. For those of you work with. And we'll put your information in the description as well on how to contact you. You want to tell us how they connect with you in order to do that?
Yeah, definitely. So on my YouTube channel, in the About section, you'll see either my email. Sometimes people just want to send me an email on a few things, or like the best thing is really to book an hour coaching to get started through my Calendly account. And that's that. So I used to offer, I guess, like 15 minutes, half an hour chat. But I just realized that it's a matter of also, it's just sometimes so sad that you meet someone for half an hour and you talk about strategy and people don't do it. So I'm like, it's also my time that I'm investing, and of course time is money. But since I've started really having the hour coaching, the paid hour coaching, I've seen the shift because people pay for the coaching, so they want to see the result. It's right, it's quite different. And so, and to me, I also think when it comes to building wealth, you have to be willing to invest the money to get the knowledge, because it's a long-term investment. So free resources is good at time, but to be honest, you learn more also from investing your time and your money into the whole learning as well. So yeah, I'll say currently, or people can send me an email, and we can get started from there.
Awesome. So again, we'll put that information in the description. Any last words as we wrap up this conversation? It's been a pleasure, but any last words that you want to share with
Um, I
message,
mean,
message for Black women?
yes, I mean, I'll go back to Queen Beyonce quote again. Uh, nobody's gonna give us permission to build wealth. If we are waiting for that, that's not gonna happen. But that's so important for us to do. And it's the same thing as, the well-being. Nobody's going to be telling us you need to rest, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to do all of those things. But that is important as well. So when it comes to wealth or anything that, us Black women, we're not that great at, again, nobody's gonna give us that power. We need to take that power and not even walk with it. We need to run with it, sprint with it. So that's really my goal with my channel, and that's I guess the last word that I would like to leave your viewers with.
Awesome. Well, viewers, I hope you had a wonderful time watching this. Sam is a wonderful coach and a wonderful person to watch on YouTube and for Black women and inspiring us to get our money matters in order or inspiring us just to start,
Yeah,
start thinking about it if you haven't already. You might even be good at it. Perhaps some additional tips and things that you can learn from her channel along the way. And so
yeah.
we certainly appreciate you coming on and
Thank
sharing.
you for having me. This was great, Danny. I really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome. May not be the last time. So we look forward to in the future if we can, get back together and see how it's going. So most definitely. So this will be all for now. We thank you for watching. Is there anything that you enjoyed about what we discussed today? Anything more that you would like to know about what we discussed today? Definitely leave it in the comments. We appreciate it. Definitely check out her channel. And as always, it's a pleasure to serve you. And let's learn, grow, and share together naturally. So bye for now. God bless you. I love you. Good night all.
Bye. Bye, everyone.